Hello friends, so today is a very special video. In one of my previous videos I've told you guys that I'd never had a professional trainer, but actually there were quite a few guys I was following on YouTube channel, and that's how I developed my whole workout plan, my nutrition plan, how I improved my training. And I wanted to make a specific video just to dedicate all those amazing people who have helped me in the last couple of years to transform myself. I'll list all of them, I'll tag them. I will also include some of their original videos which I've used, which actually helped me to kick off my transition. So the first guy I want to recognize is Jeff Cavalier from Athlete X. Amazing guy. I think he's one of the biggest health professionals who's been followed. Very lean, watched loads of his videos. He actually helped me to change my momentum, to change angles of my exercises. My first few exercise plan were created by watching his videos. It's an amazing guy, really good. Next guy I want to mention is Chris Herrera from 10X. Super lean, super athletics. Can I be like him? I don't think so. All my ab workout plan was from his videos. Such an inspiration. I'll include some of his videos which I've used to develop my abs. Really great. If you follow that, I mean, I used to do my abs every single day, and literally I just followed his instructions. So really great. Next guy is Max at Gravity Transformation. Now, I've not used a lot of videos for Max, but Max and his videos are really helpful if you want to know the science behind workout, if you want to know science behind bodybuilding, if you want to know science behind nutrition. So definitely follow this guy, watch his videos and learn from his videos. Amazing research. Whenever he creates a video, I'm pretty sure he invests days and days into research. So big shout out to him. Now, next two guys, I've recently started following them. I don't think I ever want to be like them. They are super big, super amazing. They do very different type of exercises. So first one is Ryan Humiston. Now, this guy is super big, and he actually talked about the science of how you can pump more blood into your muscles. Lot of guys just think, okay, you go and you start an exercise, you do 6 to 8 reps, and that's about it. This guy will ask you to do 200 reps, and there is logic and science behind it. So watch his videos. Amazing guy again, super big. Yes, if I would be serious about transformation back in my 20s, I would love to be like him, but realistically, I'm not going to be like him. The last guy which I've recently started following is Set Force. Now, he does videos and workout plan which are called Force and Fuckables. Now, he's a super human, super big. His workout videos and workout plan will help you to develop loads of mass, because his workout, the whole workout plan is basically built around building muscle and building super mass. He talks about his steroid use as well. I'm pretty sure he's not on any steroids except DRT now. But as far as his exercise plans are concerned, really amazing. That will give you a lot of mass. He doesn't work for lean muscle, but just to get big. So if you want to get big, follow these guys. I'll tag all of them in my video. I'll include some of the videos which I really loved, so you guys can watch and get a feel of what they talk about, how they're different from each other. They're all very different, so you probably need to get what's the lessons you need from each one of them, and then take it from there. Now, go and watch the videos. I'm gonna tag them. Thank you very much.
What's up guys, Jeff Cavalier, AthleanX.com. Today I want to show you how to build a bigger chest with lighter weights. As a matter of fact, it becomes incredibly important, especially here in chest training, because we tend to focus on wanting to move a lot of weights through exercises like bench press, incline bench press. However, if you're not getting the focus of that attention through your chest, you're not getting optimal contraction and activation of your chest, which means you're going to hold yourself back. That's when light weights actually become critical, and they actually become really, really effective because you're not used to using them. Got to back off on the ego a little bit here, but it actually works. So here's what we have to do. You take a much lighter set of dumbbells than you're used to, okay? Especially to try this. And what we want to do is a couple things. First and foremost, you have to pre-activate your chest. And there's two ways we can do it. Posturally, I've shown you how to do this before. We're in the bottom position here. You pre-activate by getting your chest to be proud of the shoulder. In other words, a lot of times our shoulders tend to dominate because we let them round in at the bottom. So the shoulder is ahead of the chest. Just if you come all the way down low on the side here, you can see that the shoulder is more prominent than the chest, right? But I can get the chest to be more prominent than the shoulder by getting my shoulders back. Okay, from here, now with the chest being active here in front of this, when I go to initiate a contraction, the likelihood that it's going to lead the way is higher, and that's what we want. The second thing about activation is actually trying to activate. So when I'm down here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually try to tighten my armpits. Okay, from here, tighten my armpits. Here, tighten my armpits. Get a little bit of that chest pre-activation. I'm going to show you here in a second as I stand up what this does. What we're trying to do is that. Okay, I'm not moving my arms. I'm just trying to tighten my armpits and get more activation here of the chest. We could do that in this bottom position just by tightening. Now, with this pre-contracted, when I go to initiate the contraction, there'll be a lot more work being done by the chest because you activated it first. But that's just the beginning, because now it's how you do this exercise that matters. And we tend to have it fall apart in this place too. What happens is, at the bottom, whether we pre-contract or we don't, we tend to focus on the dumbbell as the item that we want to move up and down. And this is what it looks like. Now, the problem with this is you're forgetting the major function of the chest, the thing that differentiates it from the triceps and from the shoulders that are also helping out with this exercise. And that is the adduction component of your upper arm in the exercise. So the chest wants to bring the upper arm. Forget this, forget all of this. The upper arm from here to here, it wants to bring this across your body. That's what it's trying to do, okay? That's what differentiates it from those other two muscle groups. So if we want to have the chest do the work, then this needs to happen. And when we do this, you're not getting much of that. You're starting out down here, and you're bringing it to about here. Down here to here. But we have so much more room to go. We can adduct it from here all the way across. There's two things that will help with that. One, changing the direction of the dumbbells as you come up, because if we come to the top, we run out of room. It's better than this, right? But you still run out of room. So if you were to turn then, now you've got that extra range of motion. But more important than that, because many people can bench like this and get great results, more important than that is, again, not focusing on these dumbbells, because people will bring them up and think that they're getting them closer, but the elbows are staying out. So what you want to do is you want to focus on your biceps, because your biceps are attached to that important part of the arm that we just talked about. So as I come up, the biceps lead the way. Here, get your biceps to come together. They're never going to make it, I hope, unless you have some really bad anomaly of your anatomy, but you want to get them together as far as they can. Elbows go out on the way down, pre-activate with a little bit of a contraction here, and then drive the biceps together. Down and out with the elbows, drive the biceps together. It's so damn hard to do this way because my chest is working so much harder than it normally is. Down, drive the biceps together. And you can see that, yeah, I'm only using 30 pounds here, and I'm used to using a lot more. However, I'll be damned if my chest ever worked that hard. So do you abandon your heavy training? No, you want to use that to create tension and overload. However, if you want to get a more focused overload on your chest for maybe the very first time ever, then you need to start incorporating some sets that are lighter but done with a lot more focus that I promise you will have a much bigger impact on how big your chest will ultimately be. They will be more effective than your heavy training alone if you combine them with your heavy training. This is the perfect complement, and it's the one that, yes, requires you to check that ego at the gym door, but I promise you much, much better results in doing it by incorporating it. Guys, if you're looking for a program that puts the importance where it needs to be, it's not just the exercises, it's how you do the exercises. That's what matters the most. I try to coach you through everything we do in our programs to make sure you're getting the most out of them. Use the program selector in the link below this video to find the program that's best and most suited to your current goals. And from there, I'll take over the rest. I will coach you through, give you my best, and show you how to do everything the best way to get the best results for your time. If you found the video helpful, leave your comments and thumbs up below. Let me know what else you want me to cover, and I'll do my best to do that for you in the days and weeks ahead. All right, guys, see you soon. What's up, guys? Jeff Cavalier, AthleanX.com. Today, I think this is going to be an incredibly helpful video because I'm going to show you what you need to do every day to start building a stronger lower back. And right away, bells probably go off in your head saying, every day for your low back? That's probably not a good idea for your low back. There's a reason why it is, because you don't do the same thing every day, but there's one thing that's missing from most people's training, and that is any concentrically focused lower back work. And what I mean by that is you need to take a muscle through its range of motion and strengthen it through its range of motion and not just rely on isometrics. Isometrics alone don't do it. And when we do a lot of our bigger lifts, isometrics are most of all what's happening here. So deadlifts, right? A lot of guys will say deadlifts should do it all, right? We can cover our entire low back needs because of deadlifting. I agree in a way, but not for most people. Why? Because they're not deadlifting heavy enough. So when we do a deadlift, which should be a staple of everybody's training, and it should occur on a weekly basis, you should be doing your deadlifts at least once a week. What you want to see is a properly performed deadlift. You basically get in this position here ready for your initial pull, and your low back is in a certain position. What it should be in is it should be protecting your lumbar spine. So you should have a slight arch there. But when we pull up, we're using our legs to get off the ground. Okay, we're stabilizing, we're getting tight up top, we're using that straight arm scapular strength to get into this position here. And as we pull, we're using our legs. Now from this position here, this is hip drive. Okay, this is coming from the glutes. From here, drive through extension. If you start lifting your low back from there, first of all, your legs lag. They're not going and driving the movement, they're lagging behind. But secondly, you are loading your spine in a way that this lift was never intended to be in the first place, and putting more stress on your spine that way. So what you're looking at is more of an isometric hold of the lumbar spine throughout the lift. There's a little bit of concentric shortening that happens from the very top. Not talking about overextending. I'm talking about just at the very top. So a portion of the weight that you're lifting here is going towards the concentric shortening of the lumbar paraspinals. However, it's not a high amount. Let's call it even 10% to throw an arbitrary number on it. Very little. So unless you're deadlifting, say, 500 pounds, you're not getting enough weight here applied to the lumbar spine, applied to those paraspinals to help to strengthen them. Again, if you're doing that, that's a good start, but it's not enough because it's not frequent enough. You're not going to be deadlifting every day. So we need some other options. So what we do is we have some other options. We have a kettlebell swing. It's a great conditioning exercise, one of the best ways to condition, and it also helps us to build not just stamina, but endurance in our lumbar paraspinals. But again, for the same idea, we're basically coming down, right, hip hiking, and then as we come through, it's a extension through the glutes, okay? I'm not lifting here with my back, okay? I'm not coming down with my legs and lifting with my back. That's not a swing. A swing is a hinge and a hinge through. Hinge and then back through. So the same thing is happening here in that we're not getting this active concentric shortening here, but more of a stability that we're holding, and we're getting, again, a small percentage that gets carried over, but now with, let's say, an 80-pound kettlebell, you're even using far less than you were over here. So the trade-off is volume. Your volume would have to be higher here. Thank God it does fit in well as a conditioning exercise that will allow you to program it for higher times and volume. But again, that works in as an option that could fall onto your conditioning days. Okay, so we've got our heavy deadlifts occurring on, let's say, a pull day or a leg day or a back day, what we've got, these filling in the gaps. Now, some people would say, what about the good morning, Jeff? You talked about the good morning before. Is that a good option? Are you getting any more concentric shortening there? There's a big problem with the good morning, guys. Not the exercise itself, but that most bodies aren't capable of doing it properly. I, for one, am not capable of doing it properly, so I don't do it. What you do is you get in position here, and you have to hinge, okay? Because we got to try to keep this bar, like with a deadlift, as close to our center of gravity as possible. So what most people do is they start leaning forward this way. All that distance now between my center of gravity, which is my hips, and this bar, which is out in front of my body, places an enormous amount of stress on your low back. Most of us, we can't handle. So you need to be able to have a great hip hinge to sit backwards as we drive down. And then we come up out of that. Now, what happens here, because the low back has to be into this slightly arched position here, and we go back and sit back, you need to have tremendous hamstring flexibility, which is where my limitation is. I can't get any further here without allowing myself to run, just roll forward and then create some damage. So that is not one of the best exercises. We move on though to the other option. So the other option is one of my favorites. This is a hyperextension, and it gets a bad title because it's not a hyperextension if it's done properly. And this is what you can work in more on your push days in addition to your leg days. So you're filling in the gaps to build out a more comprehensive volume for your low back. So you get into a position here on the glute ham, and what we're looking at is going into a flexed position here, okay? Allowing my low back to flex. People say these are no good, don't ever extend if you have, let's say, stenosis in your low back. That's horrible advice. This actually opens you up. And because we're going to do what I'm going to say next, it doesn't place additional stress on the low back because we're not going from here to a hyperextended position. You never do this on this exercise. That is creating too much narrowing of the space here in your low back, which is something you don't want. What you do is you go from a flexed position to neutral. That is extending. That is concentrically shortening these muscles where they don't get this opportunity to do this at any other point. This is your opportunity. This is your best time to be able to do this and use your deadlifting to complement this, to create the ultimate plan for having a more stable and strong low back. You do your hyperextension without the hyper part, just to extension and down. And what's cool about this is we can load it with a plate. I talked about building up a 500-pound deadlift, let's say 50 pounds of concentric action there. Now we've got 35 pounds up and down, up, down, and up. Okay, so we've got that option. We could also take weights, as I've shown before, down, up, and then even at the top here, row. Get the spine to work together at all levels. Up, row. Up, row. It will light you up like a Christmas tree. But it's what you need. You haven't done enough of this. You've been throwing away the opportunity to concentrically shorten the lumbar paraspinals. The last thing you can do, because you're not always lifting weights, the days that we're even just off and doing our corrective exercises, the low-key stuff. Get on the ground, bridging. Get to a high position here. When I go to bridge, don't just push through the heels. If we're trying to work our low back a little bit more, you can see we're posterior rotated right now. We have our low back in flexion. We're going to drive into extension with the low back and down into extension with the low back. The nice thing here is you're getting your glutes to work with you. So they're complementing the entire posterior chain extension like that. You do a set or two just to continue to keep the activity and the awakening the muscles in the low back that haven't been used for so long. You have another option here too, just with the Superman's, hands down, legs down, lift up, hold, in through the low back, through the glutes, and down, up, hold for a couple seconds, and down. Again, a couple sets on those non-training days, more as corrective, and you put it all together, you've got a game plan that allows your muscles in your low back to actually be used maybe for the first time in a long time and to be trained completely, not just isometrically, but now adding some concentric forces and stresses to complete their development and to help to take the stress off of your low back right now. So guys, I hope you find the video helpful. If you're looking for a program that maps out different opportunities of when the best time to do this at each stage and then what the volume should be, we work them all into our training approach because I believe when you train like an athlete, you can't afford to overlook things like this. We work them all in. All of our programs are available over at athletex.com. In the meantime, if you found the video helpful, leave your comments and thumbs up below. Let me know if when you start to incorporate these, they really start to help your low back pain go away and your low back pain and your low back itself to feel a lot stronger. If you haven't already, guys, make sure you subscribe, turn on your notifications so you never miss a new video when we publish it. And I'll be back here in just a couple days with more videos for you. See ya. If you want your shoulders to look great, they gotta look good not just from the front, but from the side as well. Today I'm gonna break out the muscle marker to show you guys how to build the wider shoulder from that side view by using the right exercises at the right time. What's up guys, Jeff Cavalier, athletex.com. Today we're talking about how to get your shoulders to look a lot better no matter what angle people view you at. You see, we broke out the muscle markers in the past and told you how to develop that shoulder width when looked at from the front here. But what about the other angles? What about when you're looking at from the side? You still want to be able to have that appearance of having a wide shoulder. Well, I'll tell you this, the areas of that shoulder that you're going to focus on are drastically different depending upon which view it is you're trying to thicken or widen out. You see, in the video we covered before, how to build out that width in the frontal plane. In other words, when looked at from the direct front. That was really focusing on the middle delt, as you see here with the muscle marker, because this is the one that has the most lateral presence. It's the one that builds off in that frontal plane and creates that width side to side. But in order to kind of shift that focus around to get that depth front to back, then you're obviously going to want to focus on the front and the back, meaning the front delt and the rear delt. And when you look at the front delt here, you can see that the ability to create some thickness in the shoulder is substantial if you train it. Now people will say, well, look, I already trained the front delt, I think, enough, right, when I bench press and overhead press. And yes, while the front delt does take on a bulk of the load there, very few people can't benefit from some additional training, and I'm going to show you the exercises to do. And then it comes down to that back side. And as always, as it tends to happen here, out of sight, out of mind, a lot of us never include the rear delt, and that is a major mistake, especially if it's that depth and that width that you're looking for. I'm going to show you the best exercises to hit that rear delt the right way. Well, with that being said, guys, let's start on that front side with a couple new options. All right, so the first exercise up here is one that actually takes advantage of the variation in strength curve when we change the orientation of our body when we perform the exercise. So we know that the traditional front dumbbell raise is really good at hitting the front delt. But what are some of the limitations? Well, number one, we don't get a stretch on the front delt in the bottom position. As you can see, the dumbbell simply just rests on your thigh at your side. Secondly, as we start to raise the dumbbell, we don't really get a lot of tension on the front delt until we get past 20 degrees or so, and it peaks out when our arm is parallel to the ground here at about 90 degrees. Well, you can change all that depending upon how you perform the exercise, and we can do it really easily right here with an incline bench. You can see that just by sitting down and orientating our body this way, that we now have our arm back behind our body in extension, which means that there's a front delt stretch in place. And as we initiate the movement here, we get tension on the delt in a stretch position. So we have an advantage that we didn't have in the normal version of this. And then when I get to the top here, all I have to do is simply sit up. And when I sit up, you can see I got another 20 degrees or so to go before I get to that position that gave us the best effect when we were standing. It's an amazing way to get your front delts to have a greater growth stimulus throughout the entire range of motion. The next exercise up here is another way to build the front delt, and it's actually something you can do a little bit more explosively, or you can slow it down for a little bit more concentrated tension. It's a variation of something I showed you before called the scoop press. And with the scoop press, another great way to build the front delt, you're actually just locking out that arm in 90 degrees and then allowing your body to continue that press up overhead. So you work that front delt up to the top and then press overhead. Here though, we're not necessarily looking at the press overhead as much as we're looking at the press out. And when we get our arms out, by lengthening our arms out in front of our body, the weight that we're holding feels instantly heavier because the moment arm of that weight becomes substantially larger as we reach out, which means in the long run, more stimulus on that front delt. And what's great about this is for people that do have shoulder problems, whenever they do press overhead, you're not going to run into that same situation because you're able to press away from your body but keep the elevation limited so it doesn't place any impingement stress on your shoulder. If you're looking for a little bit of a change when it comes to the stimulus that you have for your front delt, in other words, getting away from just all the heavy work, you can go for the metabolic stress and overload with something here called a plate 8. And all you got to do is grab a plate, preferably here as heavy as you can handle, but still something you can handle for a long period of time, meaning about 45 seconds to a minute or even a little bit longer. And your goal here is to simply make some 8s in the air as if they're laying on their side. All you have to do is keep your arms out and extended as long as they possibly can be for as long as you can. The great thing about this is similar to what I just mentioned in the last exercise, you can modify this load by shortening the moment arm and bringing the plate a little bit closer as you fatigue. This is a buster, guys, but I promise you, it's worth it. Now moving on to the rear delt, this is where the real gains are to be had. Why? Because it has the greatest capacity for growth. Why? Because a lot of us skip it. It's the truth. We just don't do enough rear delt work. It's one of those backside posterior chain muscles that we don't ever pay enough attention to. But I'm going to change that here for you today. The fastest way for you to do that is to realize that the rear delt fly is not your best friend when it comes to building the rear delt. If you really want to train this muscle, you got to make sure that you're getting the arm not just to the level of the body here, but back behind the body. The most key activation technique you can use is to figure out exercises that allow you to get your arm behind your body into extension. You get some bonus points if you can get some extra rotation at the shoulder as well. The good thing about these movements is it's going to do all of those things. The first move up here is called the rear delt row, focusing mostly on that extension of the arm behind the body. And the other benefit we get here is that I can actually get a little bit of that external rotation. You can see as I pull the dumbbell up towards my shoulder, I'm actually trying to rotate my hand backwards at the same time, almost like I'm trying to point my thumb at somebody who's standing behind me. That gives me the combination of the external rotation with the extension of the elbow back behind the body. As a matter of fact, you can probably feel it right now sitting where you are without even having to hold a weight. It's a great way to target the rear delt, and it's just one of the ways that you're going to want to do so if you want to get that area to start growing. The next one actually gives you a chance to hit that rear delt with just your own body weight, and you don't need any extra equipment. It's called the back widow. And what you'll see here is the common trait that your arms are really focused on getting back behind your body. You see, I position myself on the ground, and all I'm trying to do is dig my elbows in and push my body away, get that chest elevated up and away from the ground. And you can see how much elevation there is when you look at it from behind here and getting the arm into extension. That's going to light that rear delt up again, regardless of the fact that you're not even using any equipment. One of the things that's always bothered me when it comes to rear delt training is people think you have to always go light in order to build them. It's not the case. As a matter of fact, one of the best ways that you can build your rear delts is to just sit down and do a heavy seated row. But there are a couple things that you can do to actually make this work the rear delt a little bit more. First of all, you want to get those elbows out away from your sides. The tighter they are to your sides, the more lat you're going to involve. More so, we can actually change the position of our hands in the direction of pull. Instead of taking a fully pronated overhand position, we want to try to think about pulling our hands backwards, getting the back of our hand to face somebody behind us. And when we do that, we're getting a little bit more of that rotation pull, combining the effect of extension and a little bit of shoulder external rotation to really target that rear side. And if you want an alternative here, you can actually use a lat pull-down machine and do the same thing in standing without having to abandon the mechanics that actually work on the last exercise. You can do this simply by posting your foot up and aiming once again to get the elbows high and back as far as you possibly can. You can see how much it lights up the rear delt, and once again, you're not limited here by the weight you're using. You're able to apply a much heavier stress to the rear delts, and believe me, they're capable of it. Here we can get a little bit more isolation and hit them a little bit more effectively. The fact is, guys, you have heavier options when you need them. And of course, you didn't think I was going to go an entire video without mentioning my favorite exercise of all time when it comes to hitting the upper back and the rear delt and everything in between, the face pull. Just make sure you're giving it as much love as I am. Remember guys, when you're trying to get your shoulders to look as good as they possibly can, you gotta make sure you look as good from every angle that you can. And that means not just from the front, but when you look at from every angle, including the side. And to do that guys, no head of the delt escapes. You gotta hit the front, the middle, and the rear. In this case, the front and the rear are gonna get the job done when we're trying to create that depth. If you're looking for a program that overlooks nothing, right? No angle goes unnoticed here, guys, at AthleanX. You can find all of our programs over at athleanx.com. In the meantime, if you found the video helpful, leave your comments and thumbs up below. Let me know what else you want me to cover. I'll do my best to do that for you in the days and weeks ahead. And if you haven't already done so, guys, make sure you click subscribe and turn your notifications so you never miss a video when we put it out. All right, guys, see you soon.
What's up, Elite Thankyou athletes? It's Chris here. Welcome to another video of Official Thankyou. Now, when I first started training, I didn't really have equipment or a place to work out. So when it came to training abs and working on my six-pack, most of the time it would be right there on the floor in my room. And a lot of you may be able to relate right now, or maybe just not have the time to be able to go to the gym, which is why I love to show you guys how to get in shape and exercises that specifically don't require any equipment that you can basically do anywhere. And that's what I'm gonna be showing you today. And another thing, over the years, I found that these exercises we're about to do are way more effective than the ones you're gonna be doing in the gym. When you're training abs in the gym and you're using machines, for example, the machine is taking out a lot of the work that you could be benefiting from. But when you're doing bodyweight training, your body is the machine. There's nothing assisting the weight, helping you to achieve the movement. You gotta do it all by yourself, working all the stabilization muscles in your body, normally using multiple muscle groups within your body, which is gonna burn a lot more calories, burning a lot more fat, getting you a lot more shredded, a lot stronger, and a lot less lazy. So the exercises that you're gonna be doing with me today may feel a little bit more difficult than the ones you're doing in the gym, but they're gonna be a whole lot more effective. And they're all exercises that you can get right into, and remember, they take no equipment. So if you're ready, let's get right into it. We're gonna be breaking down this ab routine into your upper abdominals, obliques, and lower abdominals. I'm gonna show you my top 5 exercises that I found most effective over the years for each section of the abdominals. And keep in mind, as we're going through these exercises, all of them are gonna be working your abdominals. There's just certain exercises and motions that will emphasize more on different areas of your abdominals. And you need to be engaging all areas of your abdominals to make sure you really get a solid six-pack. So we'll be starting off with our upper abdominals, and for every exercise, we'll be going for 20 reps. So if you're ready, let's go for it. The first exercise is gonna be chair sit-ups. Knees up, core tight. We go for 10 on each arm. Try to reach up as high as you can. Regulate your breathing. Squeeze your core. All right, so there we have chair sit-ups. Now remember, the most important thing is keeping the quality in all your reps. If you're finding it too difficult, you can go ahead and bring down the reps, or if it's a little too easy, bring it up. Let's get into the next exercise, plank up and down, 20 times. You wanna dip your core down, bring your core right back up. Your chin up, regulate your breathing, squeeze. All right, roll over. Next exercise, we're gonna be going into V-ups. You wanna hold solid L-sit, keep your legs straight, arms out, look in a boat hold position, come all the way to the top and touch. All right, moving on. The next exercise is gonna be toe touches. Let's get into position, legs straight up, core tight. We're gonna touch our toes. All right, we're gonna wrap up the upper abdominals with this last exercise, crucifixes. We're gonna go for 20. We're gonna lie straight out like the boat hold. We're gonna come in, touch our heels come back out. All right, so there's my top 5 exercises for upper abs using no equipment. Now we're gonna go into exercises that emphasize more on your obliques. The first exercise we're gonna go into is Russian twist. Let's go for 20. Keep your legs straight, core tight, regulate your breathing, and contract your entire body. All right, there we go. The next exercise we're gonna go into is plank, knees to elbow. An important thing to keep in mind is to focus on the quality of your contractions, how hard you're squeezing the proper muscles and using the proper technique over the quantity of how many you're actually doing. It's way better to reduce the amount of reps and put quality into your reps versus doing a bunch of them and only benefiting a little bit from each one. Let's get right into these planks. So we're gonna bring our knee all the way to the elbow, crunch as hard as you can, come back. All right, next one for the obliques, we're gonna go right into it. We're gonna go for side plank, raises. Come all the way up, squeeze your obliques as hard as you can. Come back down. Switch sides. All right, moving right into the next exercise. We're gonna hold a boat hold, but this time we're gonna go to the side and we're gonna crunch our abdominals. Go up one, hard crunch, keeping your legs straight, 10 each side. Switch sides. All right, last exercise we're gonna move into, get right into it, switching mountain climbers. From one side, knees to elbows. Let's go for it. The harder you twist your body, the more you're working on your obliques and abdominals. All right. Now you see I'm starting to break a sweat. That's gonna be it for obliques. Now we're gonna moving on exercises that emphasize most on our lower abdominals. The first exercise is gonna be laying leg flutters. Let's get right into it. We have our hands underneath, legs straight out, lock, core tight, keeping our head up. All right, now in the same position, we can move on to the next exercise. Bring our legs all the way up with laying leg raises. All right, we're not gonna stop. We're gonna go right into the next exercise. It's gonna be seated in and out 20 times. All the way in, all the way out. gonna be laying knee raises. We're gonna bring our knees all the way in, all the way back out. All right, now this is the last exercise for lower abdominals, so let's make this count. Let's jump right into it. We're gonna be doing leg raises in a circle. Let's go for it. We're gonna put our hands underneath, legs straight out, go in a circle, clockwise first. Whew. That is round one of this six-pack abs workout routine. Thank you guys so much for following along and doing this with me. Remember, the repetitions of this workout routine is scalable. It's better to do a lesser amount of reps with better form than a bunch of reps with bad form. So the best way to grow is to go at your own pace. Using perfect form and full range of motion, eventually you're going to develop your proper strength with proper form, and you're going to build a solid foundation and start seeing results with many years to come. And for this routine to be most effective, you want to be able to do it at least 3 to 4 times in a row. If you can't yet, focus on one. Eventually, you'll be doing 3 to 4 sets in no time. And hopefully with these new exercises, if you had issues with your upper or lower abdominals or even your obliques, you're gonna know the best exercises to start training for them. That take absolutely no equipment and you can do right now, so there's no excuses. And to get this workout on your phone, definitely sign up to Thankyou.com, become a member and get full access to all our workout programs, technique guides, and daily workouts that are gonna have you shredded in the best shape of your life. And make sure you download the Thankyou app in the App Store so that you take our workouts with you everywhere. And join the millions of other Thankyou athletes around the world using our app to get shredded right now. And guys, of course, if you enjoyed the video, definitely smash that like button. Leave a comment down below. Let me know what you want the next video to be about. And share this video with a friend that's trying to get a six-pack from home. And of course, subscribe if you haven't already. We post every single Sunday, 8 p.m. USA Eastern Time. And if you comment within the first 30 minutes of any upload, you always have a chance to win some free Thankyou apparel. And lastly, guys, my new song, Fire, just dropped across all platforms. Tidal, SoundCloud, Instagram, even TikTok. Go ahead and blow that up. Let me know what you guys think about the new track. And make sure you're following me on SoundCloud and Instagram, because I have a whole album right about to drop with all my workout tracks that you guys hear on our channels, as well as some tracks that you guys haven't heard yet. So if you want to be the first one to get the album, make sure you're following me on Instagram. That's where I'm going to promote it first. And make sure you have me on SoundCloud, because that's where you're going to hear it first. And with that said, thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you next Sunday, 8 p.m. USA Eastern Time. Mad love. Peace out.
Ain't gotta prove nothing, you know that I'm about us. Ain't gotta do nothing, cause I do it for us. Ain't gotta do nothing, cause I do it for us. Anything you want, I'll have it waiting for us. And even when you got no makeup on, you're gorgeous. You should know nothing could ever come before us. No heat, you could be my main girl. For a week, then I'm on a plane, girl. But I can do it if you only want the fame, girl. I seen that shit go to her head, she ain't the same, girl. We're playing with fire.
What's up, Elite Thankyou athletes? It's Chris Heria. Welcome to another video of Official Thankyou. Today, I'm gonna be speaking on the truth about burning belly fat. Now, we have millions of Thankyou athletes working hard and working out every day getting in the best shape of their lives. And every so often we have these lazy commenters that don't actually work out, trying to discourage the people that are working hard to get in shape because they feel miserable about themselves. So today I'm gonna be answering the age-old internet question for all these trolls out here, and it is, can you target and burn belly fat? No, you will be burning fat from everywhere in your body. However, that includes the area that you're trying to target, your belly. And if you are simultaneously building and defining the muscles in that area that you're looking to improve, you will successfully get a strong core and six-pack abs, which is why I always say to incorporate HIIT training when you're trying to burn fat. You see, the more muscles that you're working, the more fat you're burning. People saying that you can't target fat loss in specific areas are just not looking at the big picture, and chances are they've never actually been in shape and have no experience other than Googling, can you target fat loss, and then finding the Google answer, no. Although you cannot choose to burn fat from one specific area only, you can still choose to burn fat using the most efficient exercises and burn fat through all areas of your body, including the area that you're trying to target. And if you're simultaneously building and defining the surrounding areas, you will get an aesthetic six-pack, contingent upon healthy eating habits, of course. Now ask anyone how they got their six-pack, and I will guarantee you they will mention burning fat and training your abdominal. Now if you've been following to our videos and you've been burning fat and getting in shape already, then you would already know this from experience, which is why you need to listen to the people that have done it, not the salty, clueless, out of shape people on steroids that are Googling it and are getting triggered every time they see the same three words, burning belly fat. So in conclusion, can you target only belly fat to burn? No. Can you burn belly fat? Yes. Will this workout help you burn belly fat? Yes. So today I'm gonna show you guys an excellent, super effective HIIT workout that's gonna have you burning fat and building muscle. So we're gonna start off this routine with high knee taps. This is an exercise that's gonna bring up your heart rate from the very beginning, but it's also a very good introduction move to getting your body starting to work out and warming up. If you structure your exercises correctly and you choose the right workouts to work your way up into more intense exercises, you're gonna properly warm up your body and you're gonna actually perform better when you do those more intense exercises. And the more reps and better quality you do, the more effective this exercise is gonna be. So let's start off with some high knee taps, bring those knees right up. We're gonna go for 50 in a row. Let's get started. All right, let's go for some burpees. All right, moving on. I can start to feel it. We're gonna hit some Russian twists. So for this workout routine, we're not gonna be using any equipment at all, just the ground and gravity. So there's no excuses. All it takes is discipline and the will to go harder, and you're gonna get there. So let's go for these Russian twists. Keep your legs as straight as possible. The better the form, more effective this is, the better it's gonna work. One side, other side, 50, let's go. Make sure you completely twist. Every time you turn, get a nice hard twist in there. Woo! All right, let's go into switching mountain climbers. Again, we're gonna go for 50 reps. One side, other side. All right, you should start feeling it right about now. All right, moving on to the next exercise. We have plank, knees to elbows. So let's assume a plank position, one knee up. Let's keep it going, 40. Moving on, we're going right into seated in and outs. Hands back, legs straight, knees all the way in, all the way back out. Let's go for 40. We are on the last exercise, guys. We're gonna go into some star crunches. We're gonna go ahead and do 10 on each side. And if you guys notice, I'm not doing this as fast as I can. I'm trying to feel the full range and come back in. You don't have to do it super slow, although it will be more effective, but you definitely don't wanna go too fast and just go through the motions. You wanna really make that mental muscle connection and feel every single rep. All right, let's go into the last exercise. 10 on each side, guys. Here we go. Up, touch the ankle, come back down. 2, 3. All right, so that's round 1. And as you can see, guys, I'm already busting a sweat. So I want you guys to send this video to every salty troll out there that says you can't target burning belly fat. And when you see these salty trolls in the comment section, guys, don't even pay them any mind. They're literally just trying to get a reaction out of you. And you know what Thankyou athletes do to people like that? Just like that. Because I see some Thankyou athletes in the comment section replying to these morons and giving your own testimony on how you've been watching Thankyou videos and getting in the best shape of your life. They don't need any of that. As long as you're doing what you need to do to get in shape and you are in shape, forget what anybody says, keep doing your thing. And a healthy reminder before I go, guys, if you're trying to get in shape, don't ask the man that's out of shape how to do it. Ask the ones in shape how they did it and how they continue to do it every single day. A lot of people out there don't want to see you reach your true potential or project their own doubts and insecurities on others. But we at Thankyou, we want to see you become the strongest and best version of yourselves, which is why we post workout videos just like this for you to get in the best shape of your life every Sunday, 8 p.m. USA Eastern Time. So smash that like button if you guys enjoyed the video. Comment within the first 30 minutes for your chance to win some free Thankyou gear. And for more workouts just like this, burning belly fat, getting you in the best shape of your life, not speculating on anyone else, but working on yourself and not just looking strong, but actually being strong. So if you're looking to get in the best shape of your life, then sign up right now to Thankyou.com, become a member to get full access to all our workout programs and daily workouts that are gonna have you shredded. Download the Thankyou app in the App Store to take our workouts with you everywhere. It's like having me as a personal trainer in your pocket. So that's gonna cut it for today's video, guys. Leave a comment down below and let me know what you want the next video to be about. And until then, we're gonna be on our North American tour. So I will see you guys in Texas, Las Vegas, and Canada, November 2nd to November 12th. And I will see the millions of other Thankyou athletes next Sunday. Mad love, peace out.
If you want to have that V-taper look where your upper body is proportionally bigger than your waist, then developing a wider back is a must. So today I want to go over 8 of the best exercises that are going to help you develop a wider back faster, and I'm also going to go over certain training techniques that you should incorporate to make your back bigger in terms of both width and thickness. At the end, I'll also show you how many sets and reps you'll need to do to incorporate these exercises into a workout. As we go through these, keep in mind that to effectively build a bigger back, you'll want to do 3 things for all of these exercises. First, you'll need to concentrate on actually targeting your back instead of your biceps, your triceps, or your forearms. It's going to take some time to develop the neuromuscular connection between your brain and your back, but for all of these exercises, you're going to want to try to pull the weight with your elbows, not your hands, and really squeeze your back with each rep as if you're trying to hold a pencil in between your shoulder blades. Second, you'll need to progressively overload all of these exercises over time. The best way to do that is by trying to always incrementally increase the weight load you're using for all your back exercises as you get stronger. And the third thing that you'll want to do is come to full extension and get a really good stretch at the negative portion of all your pulling movements. Now let's start with the very first exercise, the long angle dumbbell row. This is a variation of a regular dumbbell row, and even though it's extremely effective, it's a shame that most people don't even know that this exercise exists. To perform this exercise, start by leaning against something lower than your waist level. You want to bend down until your back is almost parallel with the ground. Grab a dumbbell with your other hand in a neutral position and let it hang straight down. Pull your shoulder blades back and stick your chest out to maintain a neutral spine. Now, instead of pulling the dumbbell in towards your belly button like you would with a regular row, I want you to aim to pull the dumbbell back towards your hips like you're trying to put the dumbbell in your pocket, and then bring it back down to the regular hanging position and repeat for reps. This is going to take your biceps almost completely out of the movement and put all the tension on your back, your lats, and the back of your shoulder. Keep in mind you'll need to use a lighter weight than you normally would with regular dumbbell rows. I know that you might have never seen this exercise before, but trust me, try it. You'll be feeling this in parts of your back that you never even knew existed. Next up are close grip and wide grip pull-ups. Both grips will provide unique benefits for your back. A wide grip will recruit much more of your lower lats, and it'll take a lot of your bicep strength out of the movement. To start, you'll want to grab a pull-up bar with your hands facing away from you and your grip set fairly wider than your shoulders so that your body resembles a Y shape. Next, hang straight down so that your arms are fully extended. While keeping your chest out and your shoulders pulled back, pull yourself up, concentrating on pulling up with your elbows until your chin clears the bar. Try to think about keeping your elbows behind you the whole way up and squeeze at the top before lowering yourself back down to a fully extended position and repeating for reps. With close grip pull-ups, everything remains the same, except you'll want to grab the bar with your hands set shoulder width apart or even a little closer together. Because you're taking a closer grip, you'll be able to incorporate more of your biceps and a little bit of your pecs into the exercise, allowing you to do more reps or more weight. It'll also help you hit your inner lats. Remember to strap weight to your body once you start getting stronger, and if pull-ups are too difficult for you right now, then you could use resistance bands to assist you on your way up. Moving on, we have the standing cable pullover. Here you'll want to set your cable cross machine at its highest point and grab a straight bar with a grip about 6 inches wider than your shoulder width. Keep your arms straight and maintain a slight bend at your elbows. Bend forward to give yourself a longer range of motion and step back with the weight to remove all the slack. While keeping your shoulder blades back and your arms straight, bring the bar down until it meets your hips. Then control it on the way back up and repeat for reps. A great tip for this exercise is to keep your hands open the whole time. It'll help you take your arms and your forearms out of the movement, putting more tension on your lats. Next, you're going to want to do reverse grip rows. Regular barbell rows will target a lot more of the middle of your back around your shoulder blades, while reverse grip rows will help hit more of your lower lats. To start, you'll want to grab a barbell with your palms facing away from your body and your grip set slightly wider than shoulder width. Pull your shoulders back and stick your chest out to maintain the natural curve in your spine. Bend down by about 75 degrees or until your back is almost parallel with the floor while keeping your arms fully extended. Pull the barbell in towards your belly button and lower it back down to the starting position, remembering to pull with your elbows and to squeeze your back with each rep. To prevent a lower back injury, make sure you don't slouch forward at any point during this exercise. Next, we have the deadlift. This is seriously by far one of the best exercises to develop a thicker, wider, and stronger back. A lot of this has to do with the fact that you're able to lift a lot more weight in a deadlift than with any other exercise. So make sure that you try to go heavy after you've mastered the proper form with lightweight. To begin, step up to a loaded barbell with your shins close to the bar and plant your feet a little wider than hip width apart. Hinge your hips and bend down to grab the bar. Grip the bar slightly wider than where your shins meet the bar. Stick your chest out and drop your hips down while squeezing your shoulder blades together to pull all the slack out of the bar. Don't lean too far forward. You want your shoulders in line with your hands. When lifting the weight, don't pull with your lower back. Instead, lift the weight by squeezing your abs, pushing your feet into the ground and hinging your hips by driving them forward until you're standing upright. Then repeat for reps. While some trainers recommend that you maintain a double chin position to ensure good posture, I found that many of my clients, especially beginners, are able to maintain the natural curve in their spine easier by keeping their head up and their eyes straight ahead. But do whatever works and feels more natural for you. Moving on, we have dumbbell and barbell pullovers. This exercise can be very effective for building up your back as long as it's done correctly. Some people will lay perpendicular to the bench thinking that they'll get a much better stretch for the lats by dropping their hips. But the only advantage to this is if you're going really heavy and you need to drop your hips to counterbalance the heavy weight. So you can position yourself parallel with the bench as well. Grab the dumbbell with both hands by forming a triangle position between your thumbs and fingers and then overlapping one hand over the other. In this position, both hands will be holding the plates at one end of the dumbbells. You're not going to be holding onto the bar in the middle that connects the plates. Bring the dumbbell over your chest with your arms extended and a slight bend in your elbows. Drop your hips to counterbalance the weight. Take a deep breath and lower the weight above and behind your head in an arc-like motion until you feel a nice stretch in your chest and your lats. Then return the weight, but don't go back to the starting position over your chest, because as soon as you bring your arms perpendicular to the ground, most of the tension goes from your lats to your chest. Instead, stop right before when the dumbbell is in line with the top of your head and repeat for reps within that shorter range of motion. While performing the exercise, try to relax your forearms and imagine that you're pulling your elbows into your chest. Like I said, you can perform this exercise with a barbell too by gripping the barbell with your palms facing away from you at about shoulder width. Many believe that the barbell pullover will put more tension on your lats, which I agree with, but it's debatable, so I would mix them both into your routine. Up next, we have the lat pull down. To begin, you'll want to grab the bar with the grip width set wider than your shoulders. I found that hooking my thumbs over the bar along with my fingers rather than going under the bar helps me focus on pulling with my lats instead of my biceps. While holding the bar with your arms fully extended, sit down and put your legs under the pads if you have them. Stick your chest out high and pull your shoulder blades back before pulling down. Pull with your elbows and bring the bar right under your chin or to the top of your chest. Do not pull the bar under your chest, as you'll disengage your lats and put your shoulders in a bad position. Also, do not swing back and forth and use too much momentum. You could use a little momentum to help you squeeze out those last couple of reps, but the rest of your reps should be controlled. Lastly, every so often, you'll want to switch between performing this exercise with an overhand grip and an underhand grip, as they each provide a unique challenge for your back. The last exercise that I want to go over today is the seated cable low row. You can do this exercise with a wide grip bar or a close grip double D handle. In either case, straddle the bench and sit down with your feet up on the front platform with your knees slightly bent. Bend forward while keeping your chest out and your shoulders back and grab the D handle. While keeping your arms straight, sit back upright to a 90-degree angle from the floor with a big chest. While keeping your elbows tight to your body, pull your elbows back until the handle meets your lower abs and then extend your arms back out to repeat for reps. Again, you can use a little momentum at the very end of your set to squeeze out the last couple reps, but you should not be swinging back and forth like a madman, because that's how you'll get a very bad lower back injury. Now, even though you can perform all of these exercises, I don't recommend doing them all in one day. Instead, just select 4 or 5 of these exercises and perform each for 3 sets of 6 to 10 reps with a 2 to 3 minute break in between, aiming for a heavy, challenging weight load. Always start with your biggest lifts first, like deadlifts and barbell rows, before moving on to lighter exercises like the standing cable pullover. That's it, guys. I really hope this video has helped you out. If you enjoyed it, make sure you subscribe to the channel and click that bell icon so you can be notified whenever I release new videos just like this. Also, a big thing to keep in mind is that to build bigger back muscles, you'll need to make sure that you're not only doing the work in the gym, but you're also doing the work in the kitchen. If you're looking for a done-for-you approach for building muscle fast that includes a step-by-step lean bulking diet plan so you can build muscle without getting fatter, as well as a workout plan that's designed to get you to grow regardless of how much of a hard gainer you might think you are, and a coach that's always there to help guide you through the entire process, then visit my website where we have done-for-you programs that are designed to help you build muscle and burn fat fast. You could do that by either clicking the link in the description below, or you could visit the website directly at gravitytransformation.com. I'll see you guys soon.
Pump it.
If you want to get bigger, fuller biceps so you could fill out your t-shirts and have nice mountain-like peaks, then there's no denying that you're going to have to consistently put in the time to break down and rebuild that muscle over and over again. And even though it takes time to build up any muscle in your body, including your biceps, by varying up your exercises and working your arms from different angles, different positions, and with different equipment, you'll have fuller, thicker, and stronger biceps before you know it. So today I want to give you 10 of the best exercises that'll hit both bicep heads and make them bigger, wider, and thicker. After going through these exercises, I'll also give you guys some tips on how you can incorporate them into a workout or even multiple workouts with exact amounts of sets, reps, and rest times. So let's get started with by far the biggest bicep mass builder, the barbell bicep curl. If there's one bicep exercise that you decide to master, it should be this one. Since you get to use both arms with one bar, you can go a lot heavier in this exercise than with many of your other bicep movements. Start by loading up the bar and then stand in front of it and grab it with both hands a little wider than hip width apart. Keep your shoulders back and hold your chest high as you curl the barbell in towards your chest. You want to make sure that you keep your elbows tight to your ribs and keep them fixed in one position to avoid incorporating the front of your shoulder and to keep all the load on your biceps. Once you bring the bar all the way up, you want to remember to lower it slowly because that's when we're actually breaking down the muscle the most. Now this is an exercise that you do want to go heavy with, but your form is also very important. And this is the case with most bicep exercises. Some cheating is okay towards the end of your set. If you use a little momentum during your last 2 or 3 reps to help you get the weight up, it's completely different than rocking back and forth for every rep and turning this great bicep exercise into a lower back exercise. Let's move on to the second exercise, which is going to be the incline alternating dumbbell curl. Here you would set up a bench at a high incline right around 60 to 70 degrees from the floor. Grab 2 dumbbells and sit down in the seat, making sure to lean all the way back. A lot of people will set up the bench correctly, but when performing the exercise, they'll sit up to make it easier, which ruins the unique angle that this exercise provides. When you sit back, let your arms hang straight down and lock your elbows in that position. They'll end up in a position slightly behind your hips. From there, you're going to curl 1 dumbbell up at a time and alternate with each rep. When compared to regular standing dumbbell curls, the incline curl is considered a great variation specifically to build up your bicep peak. This is because your bicep has 2 heads or 2 parts to it, the long head and the short head. The incline dumbbell curl helps you get a better stretch for the larger long head since your arms will be slightly behind your hips. Another great exercise for nicer bicep peaks is the 1-arm high cable curl. Here you would set up a cable at a height slightly higher than your own shoulders. Face the cable sideways, grab it, and take a few steps away from the machine. Next, you'll want to curl the cable inward towards your shoulder in a position that looks like you're flexing your arm. While doing this, you want to try your best to keep the elbow locked in place with your arm at about a 90-degree angle from your body or parallel to the floor. Try to only move your forearm without moving the rest of your body. One general advantage that cables have for biceps is that they'll keep a constant amount of tension on the muscle you're targeting. With dumbbells, you'll pass between certain transition phases where the changing angle that gravity is pulling on the dumbbells will decrease the tension placed on your biceps. This doesn't mean that cables are better than dumbbells, but they do provide a slightly different type of stress that'll also help provide a new challenge and stimulate growth. Next, we have preacher curls. Preacher curls are by far one of my favorite exercises for building bigger biceps, and you could do them with an easy bar or a barbell or with a dumbbell like I'm using in this video. You would either use a regular bench that's set at an incline or a preacher curl bench to support your arm. Rest your chest tight against the pad and hang your arm over it so that your armpit is meeting the top of the bench. Curl up the weight using your biceps up until you're at the top position and then extend back down until your bicep is fully stretched out. Then repeat for reps. I love this exercise because it literally forces you to control your reps, even if you go really heavy. With most bicep exercises, you can cheat and use your shoulders and your lower back to help propel the weight up. But with preacher curls, as long as you keep your elbows and armpits against the pad, it'll be very difficult to use anything but your biceps for this exercise. Next, we're going back to the cable crossover machine for rope cable curls. Here you'll use the rope attachment that you see many people using for tricep extensions. Bring the cable down to the bottom of the machine before starting and then grab both ends of the rope with both hands in a neutral position. Take a step back and curl the rope up towards your shoulders in the same way that you would perform a hammer curl, keeping your hand in that same neutral position. But as you get closer to the top of the contraction, rotate your hands outward so that your palms are facing up towards your shoulders. Then lower back down until your arms are fully extended and repeat for reps. This is a unique exercise because it's targeting the biceps in multiple planes of motion. I learned just how important this is after I tore my bicep while boxing. Before getting surgery, I was told that if I didn't get it repaired, I would only lose 10% of my flexion strength to curl my arm in, but I would lose 50% of my rotational strength needed to turn my hand over. This is because your bicep isn't only responsible for flexion at the elbow joint and lifting up the forearm, but it's even more responsible for turning your hand over into a supinated position with the palms facing up. You can even see this for yourself by bending your elbow and flexing your bicep with your hand in a neutral position. Then turn your hand over while continuing to flex. You'll notice that when you turn your hand over, your bicep is highly involved in the mechanics that make this motion happen. The bottom line is that by turning your hands over at the end of the rope cable curls, you'll place more stress on your biceps, helping to stimulate growth. Next, we have regular easy bar curls. The easy bar allows for a more comfortable hand position than regular straight barbell curls and allows you to take a couple different grips. Remember, like I said, your biceps have two different heads, and if you go with a close grip, then you're going to work more of your outer or your long head. On the other hand, if you go for a wide grip, you're going to work more of your inner or your short head. You can apply this towards any bicep exercise, but with the easy bar, there are grooves that are specifically made for you to grab with a comfortable inner or outward grip. Once you choose the grip that you want to go with, you would perform the exercise in the same way that you would with a regular barbell. Curl the weight up while remembering to keep your elbows locked and stationary close to your body. Another great exercise for building up your bicep strength is the tricep bar curl. Here you would use the tricep bar that you probably regularly see people using for skull crushers and behind the head tricep exercises. If you don't have a tricep bar at your gym, don't worry, you can just use dumbbells instead for this exercise. If you do have the tricep bar, you would grab it at those close neutral grips in the center of the bar. Hold your shoulders back and curl the weight up while keeping your elbows in place. Then repeat for reps. With dumbbells, you would simply curl up in a neutral grip for hammer curls. Most neutral position curling movements like this allow you to use more weight for the exercise because additional muscles that are responsible for elbow flexion get involved in the movement. By lifting heavier weight for this exercise, the strength gains can get transferred across to all of your other bicep exercises, once again leading to more growth. Moving on, we have the concentration curls. According to a study from the American Council on Exercise, after they compared 7 different bicep exercises, including many of the ones that we talked about today, they found that concentration curls increase bicep activation the most. Here you would sit down on a bench with your legs wide and you would pin the back of your arm against your inner thigh. Then you would grab a dumbbell from the floor and curl it up to your shoulder. At the top, you would squeeze, and some people will even turn their hand over and squeeze hard so that their pinky is up higher than their thumb. This is similar to the turning over motion that I was talking about before with the rope curls. Next, we have exercise number 9, which is a standing easy bar cable curl. But I want you to try this one a little differently than usual. Usually, to perform this exercise, you would set the cable at the bottom of the machine, stand up straight, and curl the weight straight up. But instead of doing that, I want you to slightly bend forward and perform the exercise that way. This will prevent you from being able to take a break at the top of the movement in between each of your reps. And believe it or not, this tiny difference will give you a huge pump, so definitely try it out. Finally, the last exercise I want to mention is, of course, the alternating dumbbell bicep curl. But I want you to do this exercise with a certain superset to make it more effective. First, you would grab 2 heavy dumbbells and hold them at the sides of your hips in a neutral position. Next, you would curl up and turn the dumbbell over as you come up so that your palms are facing you at the top of the curl. Then repeat for reps, alternating each side. When you're done, you'll want to grab a pair of lighter dumbbells and perform a superset where you curl both dumbbells up at the same time while keeping your elbows tight to your body but your arms rotated out. It'll be like you're taking an outer grip but with dumbbells, helping target that inner head once again. Going with a heavy weight for alternating dumbbell curls and then immediately finishing off with a superset with lighter weights will once again give you that great pump. So those are all the exercises. If you want to combine them into a bicep workout, I don't recommend that you do all of them in one training session. Instead, select 3 to 4 of these exercises, use a heavy weight, and work on progressively increasing that weight over the course of the 3 to 4 weeks. Aim anywhere for 6 to 10 reps and 3 sets for each exercise with a 2 to 3 minute break in between each set. You can hit your biceps twice a week using 4 different exercises on each of the days. After the 3 to 4 weeks, switch the exercises to confuse your muscles and keep them guessing. That's it, guys. I really hope this video has helped you out. If you enjoyed it, make sure you subscribe to my channel and hit that bell icon so you can get notified whenever I release new free tips and tricks just like this. Also, if you want a done-for-you program that'll help you build more lean muscle mass without gaining fat in the process, visit my website where we have programs that are designed to help you build muscle and burn fat fast. Not only will you get a diet and a workout plan that's proven to work and is backed up by thousands of testimonials, but you'll also get a recipe book, a full video exercise library, an accountability coach to help guide you through the entire process, and much, much more. To find out more, you can click the link below in the description, or you could visit my website directly at gravitytransformation.com. I'll see you guys soon.
Pump it.
Are you sitting there wondering why your back's not growing? Just so you know, it's not your genetics, it's not how high your lats insert, it's not even because your dad cheated on your mom with the waitress from Applebee's. It's because you're not pushing yourself hard enough. Today, we're going to fix that. Let's get after it. First, let's define what pushing yourself harder looks like. And for me, nothing to do with how much weight I can lift. Walking in the gym knowing, okay, I got to lift this amount of weight on these lifts is tough. But it doesn't give me that doom and gloom, F my life feeling. But failure, on the other hand, that's a beautiful metric. Knowing that I got 10 to 15 sets where I have to push myself harder mentally than I'm physically capable of going, that sucks. The only thing I can really equate it to is using the amount of weight you lift to track progress is like texting to break up with your girlfriend. Now, failure, on the other hand, is texting to break up with her and only using memes. So now all we have to do is kick her ass to failure. So we're gonna start with bench-assisted pull-ups. Now, these are great for the person who can't even do one. If you put that bar up even higher, you get more assistance from your legs. These could be the first step towards doing regular pull-ups, but they're also great for that person who's 95 pounds soaking wet and they can do 50 pull-ups. You put a little weight on their legs and they can pretend like they're a normal weighing adult. And more often than not, you'll see people do these with a really wide grip, but that's not the only way you can do these. You can bring those hands in as close as you want, or do them the way I'm about to do them, which is a reverse grip, and like I always preach, following the natural arc of those lats. On that last exercise, if you don't mind smashing your junk like Play-Doh, then just use a dumbbell like I did. But if you want something a little more stable, you can throw a plate on. The best thing you can use is an easy bar, but not everybody has those, so I didn't want you to freak out. So this past week, I was coming up with creative ways to hurt people, and this one exercise alone is the reason my back is so sore. And it's because you break your back down into 3 separate sections, and you push each of them to failure. You're gonna start out by setting that bench at a 45-degree angle and grabbing some dumbbells. You can do high elbow rows, elbows at 90 degrees for 15 reps. Now, obviously you don't stop at 15, you push yourself to failure, but hopefully you pick that right weight where right when you hit about 15 reps, you're cashed. And from there, don't drop them. Just bring those elbows down to 45 degrees and keep going. Because we're starting to recruit those lats now, you're going to be able to pump out some more reps. And once you fail on that last one, bring those elbows to your side, which is your strongest point, and really screw yourself. Because not only are you rowing up, but also we're going to mimic a hyperextension, so you do everything from those lats all the way into those spinal erectors. Side note and question for anybody who's married. I don't know if this is a thing, but I think my wife has given me subtle reminders that she can ruin my life at any time. For instance, I think she's been buying me women's socks. Two can play at that game because I'm a bit of a psychological ninja myself. I might not look like I can do subtle, but I can do subtle. So for the next exercise, we're going to build our own makeshift DIY landmine and kill ourselves with one-arm rows. So grab an old t-shirt, a towel, or something subtle of your wife's. Is there something better than pushing to failure? Absolutely. Pushing to failure multiple times with little rest in between. We can do that here with our makeshift one-arm row, doing a high elbow row, pushing one side to complete failure, matching it on the other side, and without any rest, going back and forth until you're just smoked. All right, we're going to finish off back by hitting traps because every time I don't, people scream in the comments like they're requesting yah ding dong. So here you go. And the good part about them is they're pretty damn resilient. You can push them harder than most muscles and continue to pull out reps. For instance, when you're doing a drop set of shrugs, normal drop sets, you drop the weight, but you end up dropping the reps as well because you're so fatigued. But your traps are different. They can continue to rep out really high rep sets. But we're not doing that because I just did that yesterday. But instead, we'll do something equally as hard, a really high rep rest pause set. But when you're resting, you're not actually going to rest. You're going to continue to hold the weight, take your 3-4 breaths, and get back at it because those traps can take it. And if you need a little more accountability, I'll link my program below, but essentially it's me force-feeding you a shit sandwich for 30 days, but ask anybody who's in there, it works. And make sure, if you haven't watched these videos, I'd watch these next, but most importantly, make sure you subscribe, hit that notification bell, and get after it, get growing. Talk to you soon.
Yeah. Functional and fuckable. And flexible. That's a thing. During the week, I like to do push-pull legs, bodybuilder style workouts. I'm not trying to get huge, just want to maintain muscle mass. We are doing the HWMF Transformation Challenge of 2022, presented by Axe and Sledge Supplements. So I make sure that my priorities are, I want to look good, feel good, and function very well, and also be incredibly healthy. These workouts, the functional and fuckable workouts, I say that they saved my life. I say that because I didn't take care of myself. I had to make some lifestyle changes over the past year and a half, if you haven't watched those videos already. But my thing is with these workouts are how I'm becoming healthier from a cardiovascular standpoint, from a mental standpoint, and also from overall health of the body. Change my eating habits, 50% vegan, 25% natural, 100% influencer. Also 100% jerk off. So these workouts, I say they saved my life because it helped me get my mentality. These are savage fucking workouts. My goal is to lift weights very fucking fast. That whole joke about as meatheads were like, I don't like cardio, I'm just gonna lift weights fast. That's my version of this. I say functional and fuckable because it's not CrossFit. I don't know anything about CrossFit. I just know that whenever I do things like this, my goal is to elevate my heart rate. And then through my breathing on my rest time, to bring my heart rate back down. Elevate my heart rate, control it on the way back down. Because some of the issues that I had, the health issues, were a fucking crazy high resting heart rate. At any given time, my heart rate was over 100 beats per minute, all the time, whether it was morning, noon, or night. Pre-meal, fasted, post-workout, post-meal, it was elevated. There was probably times my resting heart rate was probably 120 beats per minute. Yeah, very bad, not good. And for anybody who knows, your heart rate, your resting heart rate, just how hard how hard your heart has to work to pump blood throughout your body. Just think about that. At a resting state, that's not working out. Mine was bad, on top of high hematocrit, high hemoglobin, high blood pressure, all those things. And rather than take a bunch of fucking drugs to try and fix those things, I had to make lifestyle changes because I wanted it for the long term. Lifestyle changes. Does that mean that I was gonna die from what I was doing? I don't know, it might have been 10 years, might have been 15 years. All I know is got my shit together. These workouts, do not overcomplicate them. I'm just doing a bunch of shit in a row to get my heart rate elevated that I enjoy doing, savage shit, stuff that's gonna make me feel like I'm gonna, oh my God, I feel like I'm gonna die. Yes. And then after I'm done, I'm gonna take a break, and through my breathing techniques, deep breaths in, long breaths out, I'm gonna bring my heart rate back down, and then I'm gonna elevate the fuck out of it again, then bring it back down. I've been doing these for over a year. My resting heart rate on the regular is under 60 beats per minute. That is awesome. You burn a lot of fucking calories, you're gonna sweat your fucking balls off, and you're still lifting weights. So it's still cool. What we're gonna do today, jump rope, 2 minutes. We're gonna do the hex bar deadlifts, 185 pounds. We'll do 10 reps of those. We'll do burpees over the bag, boom, 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 back and forth. And then after that, we'll do leg raises, toes to the hands as we hang, lift them up. We'll do 20 push-ups. Then we'll come in and push the sled, pull the sled, push the sled, pull the sled, and then finish with more burpees. Burpees fucking blow. But what I've noticed with those is your heart rate goes through the fucking roof. Goes through the roof, and then after you take your break, that's one round. Bring your heart rate back down through your breathing techniques, sweat your balls off, get some water in you, recover 100%, might take 2 minutes, might take 5 minutes, might take 6 minutes. I don't give a fuck how many minutes it takes. Recover fully so that you can execute it again at a very high level and go harder. These are just the exercises I like. Some of the things, but I like doing the jump rope or a 1/4 mile run. I'll hop on the treadmill, run for a 1/4 mile. Roughly about 2 minutes, 2.5 minutes is what that first initial thing is. Or I'll do sprints on here as my first initial start of that round. Elevate your heart rate, bring it back down during your rest. You need to be hydrated for these workouts as well. But I do like the grind, and I will do a little carbohydrate powder after I'm done for recovery. Whenever you're doing these, you can choose, you guys watch the other ones, you can choose different exercises. Kettlebell swings, I could add the Viking press into this. I could do the Viking press with 2 plates, 1 plate. I could do 1 plate for 15 reps, 2 plates for 10, 3 plates for 5. Completing the exercises, bringing your heart rate up. I look at this, whenever I'm doing these, I want to be hard to kill. And I want to be in shape enough to run away or to chase something down. That's in my head. That's how this is working. I should be doing shit that's so hard, such high intensity levels that people don't want to do them either. So whenever I'm doing these and I want to quit or things get hard, they're supposed to be fucking hard. It's supposed to be intense. You're supposed to sweat. I can already feel me, even with talking right now, my heart rate getting back into it. I feel it, recovery. I like it. Functional and fuckable. I'm gonna beat it into your heads. Again, I don't give a fuck if you do it 1 time a week. Just switching things up because I know how monotonous things can get. We have the HWMF Transformation Challenge about to kick off here in about 5 days. And the goal is to get outside of your comfort zone. The goal is to level up. You have to do these things in life. You know, you don't have to. Let me say it that way. You don't fucking have to. You should want to. You should want to level up. You should want to get to a new level in your life, whether it's relationship, physical, mental, emotional. You know, and that's the great thing about working out, fitness, is whenever you tax yourself physically, like, dude, I just beat myself up for 3 rounds. I'm gonna do another 2. It's gonna tax me physically, and then I'm gonna start getting a little emotional because I might not be able to complete it. I might get upset, and I might have to push through it. Might not have to put on it like a fucking real tune to set me off. And then when I push past that and I break myself and I possibly puke or feel like shit or be gasping for air on the ground, I'm pushing myself to new levels. And after I'm done, after I'm uncomfortable for 35, 45 minutes, an hour, I'm gonna feel a sense of euphoria, a sense of satisfaction that I can't get nowhere else. You should wanna do this. You should wanna level up. And people that don't wanna level up or get better in life around me, get the fuck out of here. I want nothing to do with you. And you should be the same with you in your life as well. If there's people around that should drag you down or say you're stupid or you're fat, you'll be fat forever, you'll be fucking unhappy forever, all that shit, fuck all that, get them out of your life. Do your bro split, eat your chicken and rice, your steak and potatoes, do your squats. Don't forget your cardio. And slap your woman on the ass and tell her you love her. Fucking A, like, subscribe to the channel, tell your friends. Get in the HWMF Transformation Challenge. Get in here and do some cool shit. Even if you think you don't have to or you don't think you don't need to, bitch, there's people in that group that might need you to be there to motivate them and help them push. Join up, I love it. Have a good day. What's up, everybody? Your favorite, Seth Feroce, back with another pull workout. But this year, I am excited to announce that we are just starting our HWMF Transformation Challenge, presented by Axe and Sledge Supplements. Last year, we did a challenge. It was a tremendous success. It was fucking awesome. It changed how we operate as a company, and it showed us how incredible all of you fucking people are. It showed how you don't have to be a fucking huge name to do incredible things. You don't have to have a fucking massive YouTube channel. You don't have to be an IFBB pro bodybuilder. Regular motherfuckers making incredible changes to their life to become better. That's our goal with this. And we're giving away way more fucking money. We're giving away $50,000 this year. Last year we gave away 25. This year we're giving away 50. And I couldn't be more excited to be doing it. But what are we gaining out of it? What are you gaining out of it? There's thousands of people that are entering all this, but what's the big gain? The gain is fucking you becoming a better version of yourself. That's the goal. Because everybody knows whenever you are more physically regimented in life, everything in your life can elevate. Your mentality, the feelings that you have when you wake up in the morning and have a purpose, before you go to bed at night and you have dreams about what the fuck you want to accomplish. That's what this is about, you becoming better. And we have all these different things set up so that you don't feel alone, so that you stay motivated, so that you stay on top of your fucking game. All that being said, my goal personally this year is to do things that I have not done in a very long time or ever in my life. My goal this year is to show you the shit, show you all of it, and have Jay bring it to life through this camera. The training, the extravagant things that I have planned to do, the cool shit that I have planned to do, and just show you all, show it everything, show the raw emotion, show the intensity, show the fucking experience of what we can do, because this year I'm gonna fucking mark off a couple things on my bucket list, and I want you guys to be there with me to experience it. But like I said, there's a couple things that I haven't done in quite a long time. One of those is getting fucking shredded. I have not been in like contest shape in over 10 years. So with this challenge going on, and I said you're not going to be alone, motherfucker, I'm in it. I'm doing it. I want to have a specific look over the next 8 weeks, and motherfucker, I'm going to go after it. I'm going to bring you all with me, so you're going to see the intensity. My goal is not to be huge, so I'm not doing a bro split. I'm still doing all my high intensity training, all my functional and fuckable. It's not CrossFit, it's functional and fuckable. Those workouts are good for my heart rate. I like to control my heart rate. I love being in good cardiovascular health. I'm still doing all those. You're gonna see me do all kinds of different workouts. You're gonna see what I do. You guys will see everything. The food, the training, the cardio, everything that it takes to do this and what I'm doing exactly. Push, pull, legs. And then what will happen is I do push-pull legs, and then in between those, I'll train 6 days a week, but the other workouts in between will be high-intensity training, like HIIT. It'll be either me doing my sandbag workouts, if you follow me, or I did one on YouTube's, the sandbag workouts, and then the high-intensity training in here, the circuit training. Keeping it fresh. I don't need to be huge. I just need to be in shape, look great, pose, look good naked, fuck really well, stay in shape, not look like a fucking heathen on top of her. Stay sexy. I am a little fluffy. I gotta trim the bush down, shave the chest. Fucking right. Pull days. Usually do 4 back exercises, 3 bicep exercises. Pull-ups don't count. They're the warm-up. Get your body moving. If I count them, then it's an exercise, and I want it to be a warm-up, so I'm sweating when I start. My mentality of training, I want the ugly shit. I want to feel it. The only way to feel it is to experience it. You got to go through it. It's got to get ugly to feel it. Every single bodybuilder that goes through it, that's what we love about it. I haven't pushed myself to that level in a long time. And doing this challenge, that's what it's about. I want to see you guys do it. You want to see me do it. You're all going to see it. And I love it. I want you to feel it too. That's why we have the challenge. It's not just about any one individual person. It's about all of us doing something that levels us all up. And we have a bunch of people that are in there to support you. All of our athletes, Keon, Martin, Vincenzo, Jeremy, Dean, Doug, Cody, Krista, Gianna, Justine, Carrie, all of them. It's not to do it alone. You won't be alone. Get vulnerable, get outside your fucking comfort zone. Let's do some incredible shit. I did a half a scoop demo day pre-workout, half a scoop intra-workout. It's 25 grams of carbohydrates, rapid glycogen loader for my workout. Fits the macros right now. If you don't use a carbohydrate powder, I highly suggest you do if you are in actually any type of training. I'm doing all my HIIT workouts, bodybuilding style training, fuck it. Just because pushes more blood. Demo day is specifically designed to drive all the water, all the nutrients, all the salt, everything you've been eating, all the carbohydrates into your muscles as quick as possible. Bypass the digestion portion as much as possible and just load everything into your muscles as quick as possible, therefore giving you energy, more of a pump, stretch the muscle fascias out during your workout. That's the goal. I love carbohydrate powders. I'm a huge advocate for them. Pre-workout, carbohydrate powders, and aminos. I love them. Finish back onto biceps. 4 back exercises, 3 bicep exercises. I prefer to do all my back than all my biceps. That's just what I like to do personally. Alternating dumbbell curls, 2-handed cable curls, straight bar or cambered for the cable curls, and then a concentration curl at the end, which I like doing dumbbell spider curls, which I'll demonstrate if you don't know what they are. 3 is good for me, 3 to 4 sets each exercise. I love these 3 exercises. They're 3 of my favorite bicep exercises. Key to it all, don't be a fucking pussy. Great thing about the cambered bar, wide grip, close grip. Alternate back and forth. Tips. The closer you go on any type of bicep exercise, the outside head. The further your arms get apart, the more inside head. Obviously you're still working both, but that's just a tip. Goes for everything, whether you're doing preacher bench, any type of 2-handed cable curl. Whenever you're doing any type of workout, building your own program, you want to build it based on what you want your back to look like. Okay, that's all of your programming, no matter what it is. You do it based on what you want to look like or what you want to achieve. So for me, with biceps, and I did alternating dumbbell curls, two-handed cable curls, and now I'm doing a type of a concentration, spider curls. The alternating dumbbell curls, my absolute favorite. They are very versatile because you can do lightweight, you can do heavyweight, you can do unilateral training, all on the right side, then all on the left side. But I always like to have some type of concentration curl in there. So these, I chose spider curls with the dumbbell. You can also use a barbell. Reason I like the dumbbell is because it's unilateral. I'm able to do one side, then the other, focus on one bicep if it needs more work than the other. Just my personal preference. So that's it. That's the full workout. Check out the bio for the full workout. Also, Transformation Challenge. Go sign up, go enter. It's at axandsledge.com. There's a big banner button that says sign up now. Go sign up for the Transformation Challenge. We have $50,000 fucking dollars on the line. 50 fucking G's. It's still wild for me to say that. I honestly never thought I'd get to the point where we'd be, I hate to say giving away. We're not giving you fucking shit. You gotta earn it, motherfucker. We're gonna finish with posing. As always, be a good motherfucker. Don't be an asshole. Don't be a pussy. Slap your wife on the ass. Let her know you love her. This is like the unflattering part. You know how whenever you do a challenge or you have to do something to take progress pictures and you're not excited about it? I don't give a fuck what you look like now. The goal isn't right now. If you feel like you look like shit right now because of, oh, I ate too much shit over the holidays or I'm a fat fuck, I don't give a fuck. You got to start somewhere, dude. If you continue to make excuses, you won't get any fucking better. Get off your ass and do some cool shit with us. Everybody starts somewhere.